Awaken Light audio. Awaken your mind, ignite your light.
The one habit that will change your life. Don't wait, transform today. Why do some people make massive progress while others stay stuck in place year after year? It's not because they're smarter, not because they have more time, more money, or more talent. It's because they chose something most people avoid. They chose to take control of every single day. What if everything you want, discipline, growth, confidence, peace, is hiding inside one simple habit? Not a big life overhaul, not a dramatic morning routine, but one powerful decision. Stop waiting. Start moving right now. You've been told success is about goals, vision boards, hustle. But here's the truth. Nobody says out loud. Success belongs to those who master their days, because the way you live one day is how you live your life. You don't need more plans. You don't need more books or better timing. What you need is the habit that rewires your identity from passive to powerful. Because, until now, maybe you've been drifting, reacting, delaying, hoping the future will be different, but the future doesn't change unless you do. This is not about adding pressure. This is about reclaiming your power. So take a breath, let go of who you've been, and let's unlock the one habit that will change your life. Starting today. Chapter 1. The invisible pattern holding you back. You don't drift to greatness. You drift away from it. Most people think they're just taking it day by day. But here's the hard truth. You're either living by design or you're drifting. By default, drift feels like nothing. At first, you wake up without a plan. You let the day decide what matters. You react to problems instead of creating progress. It's subtle, it's silent, and that's what makes it dangerous. The lie we tell ourselves, we say, I'll get serious when things calm down. I'll start once I feel ready. I just need a little more time. But deep down, we know time isn't the problem, the pattern is. And that pattern is waiting. Waiting for perfect, waiting for motivation, waiting for the right moment that never comes. Meanwhile, days slip by, weeks blur together, and a year from now, you're still saying soon? The trap of reactive living. When you live in reaction mode, you're busy, but not effective. You're tired, but not fulfilled. You're moving, but not progressing. You chase urgency instead of clarity. You scroll. Instead of starting, you respond to life instead of leading it. And little by little, you become someone you didn't choose. Someone who watches life happen instead of making it happen. Real story. The man who always waited. There was a man who dreamed of writing a book. Every January, he made the same resolution. Every March, he got busy. By summer, he told himself, next year. He wasn't lazy. He wasn't lacking talent. He just lived in reaction mode. 30 years passed the book. Still inside him, the lesson. If you don't interrupt the drift becomes your life. You are what you repeat. Everything you are right. Now, your habits, your energy, your confidence, your results is the result of small patterns, repeated daily. Not big decisions, not breakthroughs, not inspiration, just the tiny, almost invisible things you do or avoid, over and over. And here's the turning point. The moment you see the pattern, you have the power to break it. You've seen the pattern now. You've felt its weight in your own life. And if you're still listening, it means something inside you is ready. Ready to stop drifting. Ready to stop waiting. Ready to live by intention, not reaction. But there's one big myth we need to break first. The one that tells you motivation is the answer. Because in Chapter 2, you'll learn why motivation is a trap and how the most powerful people don't rely on it at all. Let's keep going. Chapter 2. The myth of motivation. If you wait to feel ready, you'll wait forever. We've been sold a lie that motivation is the spark we need to finally act. That when the stars align, when the mood is right, when we feel inspired, then we'll move. But ask anyone who's truly transformed their life, and they'll tell you motivation is unreliable. Discipline is not. Motivation fades, decisions don't. Motivation is a mood. It comes and goes with your energy, your sleep, your emotions, your stress. Some mornings, it's easy to jump out of bed. Other days, you'll hit snooze 5 times. So, if you build your life on motivation, you're building on sand. But if you build on decisions, clear, committed, non-negotiable decisions, then you no longer ask, "Do I feel like it?" You say, "This is what I do," what the high performers know. High performers don't rely on feelings, they rely on systems. They don't journal when they're inspired. They journal because it's part of their identity. They don't work out when it's easy. They work out because it's who they are, not the other way around. When you act, even when you don't feel like it, you ignite your internal momentum. And soon, motivation catches up the danger of waiting to feel ready. Let's be honest, how many dreams have died waiting for motivation? The course you never started, the job you never applied for, the book you never finished. Why? Because you were waiting to feel clear, to feel bold, to feel bold, to feel like now is the right time. But readiness is a myth. And here's the truth. No one says you don't wait to feel ready. You decide to begin and become ready through the doing. Real story. The marathon, she wasn't ready. For there was a woman who signed up for a marathon. She'd never run more than 3 miles. She didn't feel ready, but she committed to show up every day and trust the process. On race day, she wasn't the fastest. She didn't win, but she crossed the finish line. Not because she was prepared, but because she refused to wait for motivation. She built readiness, one disciplined day at a time. Build a system that makes action inevitable. The smartest people design their environment, so action becomes automatic. Put your running shoes by the door. Schedule your priorities, not your distractions. Decide your routine in advance, not in the moment. Because when you make it hard to fail, you make it easy to win. Now you don't need more motivation. You need to replace it with systems, structure, and the quiet power of daily follow-through. But here's the deeper shift. What if the most life-changing habit isn't sexy? What if it's hidden in the boring, repetitive, mundane? Because in Chapter 3, we'll reveal how mastering the smallest actions can lead to the biggest internal transformation. Let's move forward. Chapter 3. Taking full control. The habit that changes everything. You don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems. James Clear hears the truth most people avoid. You already have a habit that shapes your life. But it's not waking up early, meditating, or reading books. It's how you start your day. The first hour shapes the rest. When you wake up, do you grab your phone first thing? Scroll through notifications, get pulled into messages, distractions, chaos. That moment, when you hand your mind over to the outside world, is when you lose the day before it even begins. But when you own your first hour, you own your energy, your clarity, your focus, your life. The one habit. Take command every morning. The one habit that changes everything isn't a trick. It's not a new app or a secret technique. It's this. Start every day on your terms. Before the world can interrupt, this habit rewires your brain from reactive to proactive, distracted to focused, drifting to intentional. It's not about waking up at 5 a.m. It's about starting with intention. Even 20 minutes of clarity beats 2 hours of chaos. The power of intention over reaction. When you begin your day in reaction mode, you chase instead of create. You feel behind before you begin. Your energy gets scattered across 1,000 unimportant things. But when you begin with intention, even one calm decision sets the tone. What will I create today? What matters most today? Who do I choose to be today? These questions give you something drift never can: Direction.Real Story, the CEO who never missed mornings. There's a CEO who runs $1 billion company. You'd expect him to start with calls, meetings, data. But for the last 15 years, he's followed the same rule. No one touches my time before 9 a.m. that first hour. It's his, no distractions, no emails, no meetings, just reflection, reading, movement, clarity. He says it's the habit that built his empire. Because if you control your start, you control everything that follows. How to build this habit starting tomorrow. Protect the first 20 to 60 minutes after waking up. This is your time. Use it well. Don't open your phone immediately. Choose calm over chaos. Ask yourself powerful questions. What do I want from this day? Not what does it want from me? Do one thing that anchors you. It could be journaling, stretching, planning, or silence. Make it a ritual. Why this one habit changes everything? Because this habit is not about time, it's about ownership. If you own the first 1%, you influence the remaining 99%. You train your brain to lead, not follow. You build a life that starts from within, not from outside noise. And soon, people will ask, how did you change so fast? They won't see the quiet discipline behind it, but you will know. So now you understand the core. Habit. Own your day before it owns you. But even after this, there's still one thing that will try to hold you back. The belief that you're not ready. Yet, that voice that says, maybe tomorrow. Maybe when I feel more confident. Maybe after I learn more. In Chapter 4, we'll break that lie and show why action before readiness is the true path to transformation. Let's go deeper. Chapter 4. Eliminate distractions. Eliminate excuses. You will never reach your destination if you keep stopping to throw stones at every barking dog. Winston Churchill hears an uncomfortable truth. Most people don't fail because they lack talent. They fail because they're too distracted and too full of excuses. Distractions are the new addiction. We live in a world of constant noise, notifications, messages, scrolling, multitasking. Your attention is under attack, and most people surrender without a fight. The result? A scattered mind, shallow focus, a life full of motion, but no meaning. Being busy isn't the same as being productive, and reacting isn't the same as progressing. Say no, like your life depends on it, because it does. Every yes to distraction is a no to your future. Every time you say, just one quick check, I'll do it later. I'm too tired right now. You're training your brain to choose comfort over greatness. Winners aren't smarter, they're more ruthless with their focus. Real story, the artist who cut the noise. There was a young artist who kept saying, I'll finish my portfolio this month, but months passed. With nothing complete, her mentor gave her one instruction. Uninstall every app that doesn't serve your dream. She fought it, then finally did it. Within 30 days, she completed more work than the entire year before. The secret wasn't more time, it was less noise. Cut excuses at the root. Excuses are like weeds. If you don't pull them early, they multiply. Common ones: I don't have time. I need more clarity first. I'm too tired after work. But here's the truth. You don't need more time. You need fewer excuses. Discipline begins the moment you stop negotiating with your lower self. The 3-step distraction, detox. Audit your digital life. What steals your attention but adds no value? Delete, mute, block, remove. Block focused hours. Create sacred time in your day. No notifications, no multitasking. Set one priority daily. If everything matters, nothing does. Choose one thing, finish it, then move on. You've cut the noise. You've stopped tolerating distractions. But now comes the part most people avoid: doing the work. Every single day, no hype, no shortcuts, no applause. In Chapter 5, you'll learn what it really takes to show up, rain or shine, and how that quiet consistency becomes the loudest advantage. Chapter 5. Build the discipline muscle. At first, discipline feels like pain. Later, it feels like power. Everyone wants to win. Few are willing to train. Discipline isn't something you're born with. It's a muscle. And, like any muscle, it only grows through resistance. Talent is overrated. Execution wins. The world loves talent, but talent without discipline is wasted potential. You've probably seen it. The genius who never follows through. The passionate starter who never finishes. The dreamer with zero action. The real winners, they don't wait for perfect conditions. They just do the work. The daily reps that build. Strength. You don't become disciplined overnight. You build it like strength training. One rep at a time. One choice at a time. One tiny win at a time. Every time you show up, even when you don't feel like it, you add another layer to your identity. You're not someone who tries anymore. You're someone who executes. Real story. The writer who never missed. There's a writer who writes 500 words a day. Every day, no matter what. He once typed through heartbreak, through sickness, even on the day he buried his father. Why? Because he said, "My craft is not up for debate." That's discipline. That's power. That's identity. Discipline equals identity in action. When you act with discipline, you tell yourself, "This is who I am now." Not someday, not when you feel ready, but today. Now the goal is no longer just to achieve. It's to become the kind of person who never negotiates with their greatness. You've started building discipline brick by brick, choice by choice. Now it's time to take it to the next level. By designing your entire day with intention, because the disciplined don't wing it. They don't hope the day goes well. In Chapter 6, you'll learn how to create a daily system so strong that success becomes your default. Let's keep building. Chapter 6. Design your day like a champion. Structure creates freedom. Most people drift through their day like a leaf in the wind. They wake up with good intentions, but no direction. They see how it goes. They react to what shows up, and then wonder why they feel behind, scattered, and exhausted. But the wise, they don't leave their days to chance. They design them. Great days don't happen by accident. Winners don't hope for productive days. They build them, block by block, hour by hour. It's not about cramming more into your schedule. It's about creating clarity, rhythm, and flow. Structure isn't the enemy of creativity. It's the container that sets it free. The non-negotiables of champions. Here's what top performers have in common: a powerful morning ritual. They don't check in with the world first. They check in with themselves. Time blocks for deep work. Focused hours, distraction-free, for their highest priorities. Recovery windows, because energy, not time, is the real currency of performance. End-of-day resets. They don't carry unfinished chaos into tomorrow. They close the loop. None of this is random. It's engineered, repeated, refined, real story. The champion who mastered. Her hours. There was a woman training for the Olympics while working a full-time job. How she had a non-negotiable schedule: 5 a.m. workout, 9 a.m. workday, 7 p.m. mobility and review, 9:30 p.m. lights out every day. No exception. When asked if it was hard, she said, "Only in the beginning. Then it became who I was." Start small, lock it in. Don't try to redesign your entire life overnight. Pick 1 to small time anchors. A morning start you never skip. A focus block you protect like gold. A wind-down ritual to clear your mind. Make it sacred, make it automatic, because when your days are built with purpose, your life is built with power. Structure becomes strength. The goal isn't to be robotic. The goal is to remove friction from what matters most. No more scrambling, no more where did the time go, no more hoping the day works out. You're the architect now, and your blueprint is your advantage. Clarity creates momentum. Momentum creates identity. Identity creates your future. You've built the container, you've laid the structure. But now, let's sharpen the most powerful tool in your arsenal: focus. Because without focus, even the best plan dissolves. Even the most beautiful routine breaks. In Chapter 7, you'll discover how the wise protect their attention, and why saying no to most things is how they achieve extraordinary results. Let's unlock that next. Chapter 7. The Power of Ruthless Focus. The successful warrior is the average man with laser-like focus. Bruce Lee, we don't live in a world that encourages deep focus. We live in a world that profits from your distraction. Every app, every headline, every ping, they're designed to steal your attention. But here's the truth: the wise already know your focus is your most valuable currency. Attention is the real superpower. The people who win, they're not the busiest, they're the most selective. They know what to ignore. They don't chase every opportunity. They say no 10 times more than they say yes, because they understand. Focus isn't just about what you say yes to, it's about having the courage to say no to everything else. The myth of multitasking. Let's debunk a lie. Multitasking isn't efficient. It's a trap. It fragments your brain. It dilutes your energy, and it keeps you stuck in shallow effort. Want to be powerful? Do one thing, do it with your whole mind, then move to the next. Focus isn't weakness, it's elite performance. Create a focus fortress. Here's how to train ruthless focus. Protect your peak hours. Block them for your most important work. No calls, no emails, no scrolling. One goal per day. If everything matters, nothing does. Nail one big domino. Let the rest fall. Shut the open loops, write it down, park it. Come back later. Don't let your brain juggle 17 things at once. Silence is strategy. Unplug. Regularly, reflection sharpens vision. Real story. The entrepreneur who turned off everything, a startup founder, was drowning in stress. Constant pings, calls, updates. He made one radical move. 48 hours of deep work. Phone off, no internet. In 2 days, he solved a problem that had haunted him for 6 months. When asked what changed, he said, "I finally remembered what it feels like to think clearly." You've learned to focus like a warrior, to cut the noise, to move with clarity. But now comes your greatest weapon: momentum. Because once you're moving, you don't stop, you don't hesitate. In Chapter 8, you'll discover how small shifts lead to fast progress, and how consistency, not intensity, makes you unstoppable. Chapter 8. Momentum is the secret weapon. An object in motion stays in motion. Newton's first lover notice, how once you start, everything feels easier. That's momentum. N. It's the most underused power in personal growth. Small shifts, big waves. Most people wait for huge breakthroughs. But the wise, they trust in small, repeated actions. One workout, one clear task, one honest conversation, one page written. Tiny wins stacked daily create a wave that can't be stopped. Build, brick by brick. Picture a wall. It doesn't appear in one day. It rises, brick by brick. That's how momentum works. Show up once, it's a start. Show up twice, it's progress. Show up 10 times, it's a pattern. Show up 50 times. Now, it's who you are. Don't underestimate the compound power of showing up. Even when it's boring, even when it's quiet. Real story. The musician who played 20 minutes a day. There was a jazz pianist who practiced just 20 minutes a day. No more, no less. Every single day for 5 years. He never missed a day. He never caught up later. Today, he performs on global stages. He said, "I don't practice to become great. I practice because I am." That's what momentum does. It transforms practice into identity. How to ride the momentum wave? Here's how to turn consistency into a secret weapon. Track your streaks. Visual progress builds inner motivation. Don't break the chain even. 5 minutes counts. Keep the rhythm alive. Set minimums, not maximums. Make it so easy, you can't say no. Celebrate motion, not perfection. The doing, not just the outcome. Momentum beats motivation. Motivation fades, discipline wavers, but momentum pulls you forward, even when you feel stuck. The longer you stay in motion, the harder it becomes to stop you. You're moving now. You've started small. You're riding the wave. But here's the next frontier, not time, energy. In Chapter 9, you'll uncover how to protect your most precious resource and how managing your energy is the key to sustaining your rise. Shall we move on? Chapter 9. It's not about time, it's about energy. You don't need more time, you need more focus, clarity, and energy. We've been taught to manage time like it's everything. But here's the secret the wise live by. It's never just about time. It's about energy, because what good is 12 free hours if you're burned out? What good is a schedule if you have no fire left to execute? The energy leak no one talks about. Most people lose energy in ways they don't even notice. Endless decision-making, unfinished tasks lingering in the background, toxic environments draining their spirit, negative self-talk chipping away at confidence. You're not lazy, you're just leaking power all day long. Busy is different from productive. You can be busy every second and accomplish nothing. You can schedule every minute and still feel stuck, because it's not about filling your calendar, it's about aligning your actions with your highest energy. The wise don't ask, "How much can I do today?" They ask, "What deserves my best energy?" The 3 types of energy: physical energy, sleep, nutrition, movement. Your body is your battery. Charge it wisely. Emotional energy, boundaries, relationships, gratitude. What you allow is what continues. Mental energy, clarity, purpose, stillness. Clear mind equals clear results. Real story. The CEO who protected her mornings, a high-performing CEO, stopped taking morning meetings, not because she was lazy, but because she realized her best thinking happened before noon. That one, Decision 10x'd her company's strategic output. She said, "When I gave my mornings to myself, I gave my team the best version of me." You've reclaimed your energy. You've cut the leaks. You've protected your fire. But now comes the transformation. The moment it's no longer just a habit, it's who you are. In Chapter 10, you'll discover how this simple, powerful daily decision becomes the foundation of your future. Chapter 10. From Habit to Identity, Becoming Unstoppable. You don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems and your identity. James Clear, what starts as a practice becomes a pattern, and that pattern becomes your identity. That's the magic. Habits fade, identity lasts. Anyone can start a habit, but the ones who become unstoppable, they stop seeing it as a task and start seeing it as truth. You don't go to the gym, you're an athlete. You don't try to write, you're a creator. You don't attempt to lead, you're a leader. When your behavior aligns with who you believe you are, resistance dies. The identity loop. Here's how transformation happens. Action gives you take small, repeated steps. Evidence gives you start seeing results. Proof you can. Belief gives you believe it's possible for you. Identity gives you become the type of person who dot this loop. Repeated is how real change sticks. Real story. The man who was once a quitter. There was a man who quit everything. Jobs, relationships, goals. He'd start hot and fade fast. One day he decided, I will not break promises to myself anymore. Every day he showed up, even when it was messy. And over time, he stopped calling himself inconsistent. He became someone else today. He mentors people on discipline, not because of talent, but because of identity. You're not just doing a habit, you're becoming someone new. The goal isn't to add a habit to your list. The goal is to let it redefine you. One choice at a time, one day at a time, until there's no separation between what you do and who you are. Final words, you've learned that success isn't loud. It's not a once-in-a-while sprint. It's not about hype, motivation, or grand gestures. Success is silent systems, daily disciplines, protected energy, and a deep identity that doesn't bend when life gets hard. The habit you commit to today will shape the person you become tomorrow. Don't wait. Transform today.
Thank you for spending this moment with Awaken Light Audio. If something today touched your heart or opened your mind, don't keep it to yourself. Share your thoughts in the comments. What spoke to you most? Tell us about your journey, your questions. Send it their way, because light grows when it's shared. Until next time, stay present, stay awakened, and keep becoming who you're meant to be.